It's been a really big week. We had the Oscars kicking it off, and we have one of our favorite performers in the house with us. Fort Worth's Tim Halperin got amazing news recently that he'll be opening for Kelly Clarkson at her benefit concert on Friday night at Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie.
That's right. Look at this video. He let his fans know in a most unique way, carrying a giant poster of his own face around the streets of Dallas, Fort Worth. And we actually...
And now... We have his giant poster here in the studio with us. Welcome, Tim.
Oh, yeah, baby.
What an unexpected surprise.
Someone's excited. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the show.
What's up, ladies? Yeah, good to see you again. Hey, I'm sitting in the middle as always. Scoot over. Okay, very nice.
This is exciting.
You know, I am freaking out, honestly.
Well, I can see that.
Because first of all, like, okay, number one, we'll talk about the venue, the Verizon Theater. I've seen all of my favorite artists perform there.
It's such a cool place.
And number two, Kelly Clarkson. I was actually told who it would be. Remember that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yes.
When
Which
Steve
one?
Carell is
All of them. I remember a lot of them.
good enough that we can talk about it on TV. The one where he's getting his chest waxed.
Yes.
And he yells a lot of things that we can't say right now.
Right. Yeah.
But one of the things he does yell is, Kelly Clarkson!
Oh, that's right. I
So I was
forgot
told,
about
I was
that.
like, hey, remember who, Steve Carell yells out in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Did you remember?
No, I had to go back and watch it, and I was like, all the things he's saying right now, I have no idea. Like, how can this relate to a show?
Right.
So then, yeah, he says
then-
Kelly Clarkson.
And did it
So
hit you?
Oh yeah, I freaked out. I called them right back. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, count me in. So.
Did y'all know each other from Idol before?
And I met a lot of former idols when I was on the show, but I didn't meet Kelly. I met some other great people, but I'm so stoked because from what I've heard, and obviously whenever you see her, she's very down to earth. As well as being incredibly talented,
Right.
And just an amazing voice. And lately she's been in the news a lot with the whole Clive Davis thing.
Yes.
And
How do you feel about that? Those were some spicy words that he said about her.
I'll tell you this: knowing his reputation and all the things he's done, and sort of his persona in the industry, it took a lot of courage for her to stand up to him.
I agree.
And really, it could have been very negative. Have a lot of negative implications on her career. But as we've seen, her fans and everybody have responded so positively to what she said and really stood behind her. And frankly, I'd take her words over his, just because he's getting older. And
It made me a little bit sad because I feel like, artists and musicians need to stand together and support each other all the time.
Yeah.
So to even share something that was supposed to be a private moment, it kind of broke my heart a little bit
So
for
share
her.
with people what happened, because I actually do not know the
Oh,
story.
Hillary,
Yeah.
sorry. So he wrote a book. It's a biography or an autobiography.
Yes,
is that right?
I heard
Correct
that.
me if I'm wrong
No,
here,
you're
Tim.
right, yeah.
And he shared a story about her having a meltdown and things like that in his office when he told her.
He made himself out to be the protagonist in the story,
Yes.
and basically, like, he's, said he gave her all the songs, and she brought in a song that she wrote, and he said it was horrible, and she broke down and cried and almost kissed his feet, kind of a story. And she said that all the facts were totally screwed up. She had cried in his office, but it was not for that at all. It was another occasion, had nothing to do with it. And she just stood up for her songwriting because
Good for her.
the song that she wrote on actually ended up doing really well. It was a
That's
top
awesome.
10
Well-
song. So.
Okay, let's get back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. anyways.
Back to Tim.
What does Tim Halperin do before a big performance?
I just run around the street screaming, obviously.
Carrying a big picture of yourself.
Some people have vocal warm-ups, I just scream. No, we rehearsed last night. We rehearsed for about 4 hours, the band and I did, because, this is a huge opportunity.
Absolutely.
And we've been fortunate enough to get some cool opportunities and great concerts, but this is one that we do not want to take for granted because of the nature, because of how big Kelly Clarkson is, and this is a homecoming show for her.
Right.
And it benefits a great organization, so there are just lots of great pieces to the puzzle that really fit what I'm all about in this concert, and so we just want to do our best. So we've been rehearsing, running around, promoting, doing all that kind
We're
of stuff.
going to talk more about it and who it benefits in a few minutes.
Great,
And
great.
when we come back, Tim's going to also share a special performance with you. So stay with us here on D Living. We're going to be right back.